Okay, I'm going to work on the first page of this little journal page project, and this is, darn, I should have already stuck my little pen in my end of my glue. It doesn't really clog up, but it, like, I don't know, it doesn't want to come out smooth sometimes if I don't stick the little pin in it. These leaves, I glued them together last night so they'd be good and set up. They are actually going to be a tuck spot, so they're only going to get adhered down across that top edge, and I'm just eyeballing it to get it into place, and then press that. And once that sets up, I'll put a little extra glue to the parts of the stems that will still show, and then those will be trimmed off even. Then for my placement for my little trees, I made myself a little pencil mark so I would know exactly where they needed to go. And these are going to be glued down flat because they are just going to be a page decoration. This project I was actually going kind of overboard on the using the die cuts, but partly because this is going to be my own page and I love fall, and I wanted to see just how much I could do with just the die cuts and what I consider kind of limited supplies, and then just a pattern paper that didn't really have a design to it other than just the, you know, the basic design. It didn't have like a scene or something like that that I could have used. And then all these little bits that stick up, I'll go back and stick them down flat when I get done or get more of the actual background. This is the little scarecrow, and he was all cut out of black. Then I cut just the grass part and fit it over the green just so I could have him in a little bit of green. But I wanted the actual scarecrow to be more of a silhouette than an actual trying to make him look like a scarecrow, because I just didn't want to put all that kind of detail into it, since a lot of it was going to be covered up by things that would be then put on the page and used in the I know I have to hold my breath when I do this to make sure I get it about right. I kind of had a layout done, and then of course I had to pick it up and move it all, so now I'm kind of guesstimating where I had it. But the reason I didn't do all the details on him is because there's going to be, with, let's see, a little piece of cardstock here, with this being a tuck spot, there'll be things that will be tucked underneath it. Then there'll be another piece that's going to be a tuck spot down here. So I figured by the time little tags and things were tucked inside, I didn't want to put all that work into it and then him be partially covered. And I've got two of the little corn stalks, and I've used a variety of dies, from just ones that I get on eBay from China to ones that come from a number of companies. Like these corn stalks come from Elizabeth Craft Designs. I think that leaf is a Spellbinders, if I'm not mistaken. I've had it for a really long time. It does actually 2 leaves on it. And I'm not gluing that little section down. And or at this point, I'll show you why in just a second. Can't remember how I had this balanced out. And I just used the Distress inks to then, you know, add all the little enhancements to the piece. And because this is loose right here, it is going to look like this little kitty is kind of walking around in the cornfield. So let's raise that corn up. Come on, get right into place. There we go. And then any of the other little loose parts, I'll go back and tack them down. And usually the way I do that is I take like a little scrap piece of cardstock, and I just put out a little dot of glue, and then I take just the end of my pokey tool and I kind of run just enough glue behind the pieces, then it will stick down, and it helps to keep from having oozing glue by trying to actually put it on the piece. And then this allows me to get, because it doesn't take much glue. So many people think it takes gobs of glue to hold paper to paper or cardstock to paper, and it doesn't. It takes very little, because once it's bonded, it's on there. And so I'll just continue to do that on any of the places that need a little extra, so that all of this part is flat and only my leaves, and when I get to this pumpkin, they will be the parts that will be raised. So I'm going to put these, come here, put these 2 little pumpkins right here, so they look like they're kind of growing in the grass underneath the little scarecrow. Offset one to the kind of to the side, and then that just helps create another element of dimension. And then this is the grass that's going to go along the bottom edge. So I'm going to put the glue. I try to use my tweezers when I can, just to help me hold things into place. Come on, get up there. There we go. Then I'm not going to worry about the grass blades right now, because I may go back and add a few little twiggy things. So however it is looking for the time being will be fine. And then this little pumpkin is going to go right there at that edge. And this one will layer over the offset over the top of it. And then this large pumpkin is going to go right there, and only this little bottom edge is all that's going to have some glue on it. The rest of the pumpkin will be kind of open on the back side to become a little tuck spot element for for the front page. And then the only other thing I'll add, once I get all of my page designs done, I'm going to add some little sunflowers in some various areas using some tiny little bitty die-cut flowers that I'll place around it. But isn't that just the sweetest page? I just love it. And then I'll make a few little coordinating tags out of some of the different cardstock colors to go there. And then I'll have a few that will go behind the little pumpkin. So when I get ready to do the next page, I will do the same thing. I'll show y'all how I do it. Thanks.